How's it going, everybody? I am Donut. This is, of course, a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. You better be supporting that shit too, or you can get the fuck off the channel. This is Broad City Season 2, Episode 1, In Heat. My prediction for that is that it's going to be an extremely hot day, and they're trying to bang some dudes. That is my prediction. Sort of double meaning there. And, yeah, got nothing else besides that. Excited to see what we're going to do for Season 2. If you want to get the full length, check it out on the Patreon below for $4 a month. Full length, stick with me for a second, because I don't know if these subtitles are going to... Okay, full length, stick with me. It's a new season. I don't know if these subtitles are going to exactly be correct or not. Hopefully they will, but who knows. Alright, that was this episode. Really good episode to start us off with this season. Again, a almost entirely Alana and Abby focused episode, but they threw in a little bit of Lincoln there, and they established like more Alana and Lincoln stuff, like more, explanation of how they met. They met in a Foot Locker, and Alana was just chilling in there, just hanging out, not buying anything, just hanging out in a Foot Locker. A Foot Locker. Yeah, with Lincoln's birthday, and I really thought there was gonna be some like drama around that, but no, it the drama was like, oh no, is Alana forgetting his birthday, and is her, not being able to find an immediate present for him and not really understanding him very well. Like, that was kind of seemingly our problem, but then by the end we realized, like, no, she has her own understanding of him. And, like, they work together in their own way. And that's perfectly valid as it is. And man, Abby this episode, what a weird plot that didn't really get a resolution at all of Abby just being a sex offender. Like, man, nothing was too bad to where it was like extremely questionable. It's all a case-by-case basis, and it does seem like she is dating Stacy, so that's a different situation entirely. But I mean, at the same time, she's not dating him, but they are just like hooking up regularly, more than once. Like, that was already like the second or third time they had hooked up. It's weird that she continues to call him male Stacy, but but yeah, the like having your own house be extremely hot, and to be fair, like, I now live in a house where like the AC is, put on more infrequently. Like, in my own house, I would have an AC in my room and I could put it on whenever, but now that's not really the case. And so, sometimes it does just get really, really hot, and you just kind of have to deal with it. Luckily, I am a nudist, so I don't really have to deal with it that much. I really only, it's mainly a problem when it's extremely hot and then I have to do a reaction because I have to wear a ton of clothes for it. But, if I am just in the room, then it's not as big of a deal, but it is still, like, especially the worst part was, like, Bever's on the bed, or Abby and they just said his name. I just said his name. It's male Stacy. No, why can I only remember it by saying male Stacy? Oh no. But anyway, laying on the bed when you're like super sweaty like that is the worst. I'd much rather be sitting on like a leather chair where I'm sticking to it, rather than sitting on a bed where I'm just soaking the bed in sweat, and that's going to be in the bed forever. Like, you're not going to get that out unless you get a new bed. Ugh, it is gross. I've also definitely been in a situation where I didn't have an AC. Like, that wasn't even a possibility at all, because my room in my old house didn't used to have an AC at all. Like, I got one, but for quite a while I didn't. So this episode is very memorable, actually, even with me having to like carry the AC out myself and hook it all up, and it's heavy as shit and so goddamn hot, and I'm trying to do all this. But yeah, that AC, they've been carrying the AC, didn't go very far. That was so immediately, just got stolen. Because, yeah, you left it in a corner in the middle of New York City. What the hell do you expect to happen? But, yeah, so I definitely know there's literally nothing I can do. It's going to be this hot. No matter if I go outside, if I stay inside, it's going to be hot. You can't escape it. It is so much worse than the cold, which you can, bundle up for and everything like that. Though, to be fair, I would always prefer a dry heat than any amount of cold, but it's very rare that you experience a fully dry heat. Like, Las Vegas is probably the best, place I've ever been to. Like, Florida, Hawaii, it's so close to the ocean, it's so humid and everything. But Las Vegas was a very nice, like, if you put your hand down on the pavement, you're probably going to get like an actual burn. But if the air is so dry that it just feels good. Like, I don't know, I love heat. I just hate humidity. So, especially when you're in a room, and especially I'm in a room with two people, me and my fiance, so it's going to, the just the people, two people in a room, also people in a room, the more people you have in a room, the more moist it's going to get. That's a bad word to use, but that is true. The more moisture is going to be in the air, the more humidity it's going to be. So that's especially why it's even worse, trying to have sex in the heat. Absolutely not. Fuck no. When it is summer, it's like, in the dead of summer, it's we just have to, no sex dead of summer. It's gonna be too gross. It's gonna be nasty. No way. I did like the the Abby and Stacy trying to like hide their grossness from each other throughout the episode. Also, really cool seeing Seth Rogen in this episode. Seth Rogen be like, I say like, oh, I like this comedian, but I like them as a like, just like, oh, I've heard them on a podcast before. Whereas Seth Rogen's the other one where it's like, oh, it's cool to see him because I like Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen is one of the last like celebrities that I am not immediately suspicious of. They're not like immediately where I'm like, they're probably a bad person. Like, I know Seth Rogen is a good person. I mean, he is politically on, like, I align with him a lot. So Patton Oswalt as well. I said Seth Rogen and Patton Oswalt are like the only two, like, I keep wanting to say comedians, but I mean celebrities that I like. I don't immediately be like, I bet they've got some weird stuff going on, or are just a bad person, or are whatever. And separating their acting and their like craft from them as a person is an entirely separate thing. And I mean, you can only do that to a certain degree. At some points, when it gets far enough, at some points it just becomes impossible to. I think more so with acting than anything else. Like, directing, or if someone is like wrote something or something like that's different because it's a level removed. You're not constantly looking at them the whole time, and it's not like a part of them as like the character of most of the time. It was also nice to see Kumail Nanjiani in this, even if I say that as if like oh, it's nice to see him continue to get more roles if he's not a huge name actor. So it feels weirder to me saying like it was cool seeing Seth Rogen and Kumail Nanjiani, because it's like, yeah, like, what do I need to say? It's more of a thing where I feel like I need to say, like, oh, John Gimberling, or, whatever the other guy was last episode that I mentioned. I'm bad with names. But yeah, it always feels weird too with the more, huge celebrity ones. I mean, this is only like 2015, so it's not like it's that long ago even. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure if I really have anything else to say about this episode. This episode, not a whole lot to talk about. The dorm stuff was... like, yeah, there's not really anything I can say about it. It was funny. This was a funny episode, but it was not a very, deep deep. Like, there's not much to talk about. I feel like I've talked about everything already. Kind of a short discussion, but still. I will see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.